Why is your ex an ex? She left for another guy. She broke up with me in civilized manner. She said there is a guy at a uni she is really into, and she doesn't feel the spark between us anymore. I was glad she was open with me instead of just cheating. This guy rejected her advances and she tried get back with me. Well, you said it's over. It's over. She's been single for a few years now. And I met an amazing new partner soon after the breakup. She's been single for a few years now. There it is. It's completely fine to enjoy a little comeuppance now and again. Hope the best for you and your new partner. I kinda feel bad for her. She did it right and took the risk. He asking you after was bad, but overall I can respect what she did. I respect what she did, but I don't feel sorry for her. I was not good enough until she ran out of options. Because he wanted to start selling drugs to his friends. We've been living together for maybe 3 years, and I didn't agree to this idea at all. But the thing is, his business started to grow way too fast, and I got tired. So tired that one day, after I saw the 300+ pills stash, I decided I wanted to live on my own. And he dumped me for that. But I only heard the big news the day after, when he invited his ex over at our apartment, while I was working. Oh well, big bullet dodged, because a week after I left, he got busted, and now has a criminal record. But hey, I'm finally over with these years of toxicity. And I got to keep the doggo, and this big old boy is the love of my life, no doubt. He put his family and specifically his toxic mother before me, even over stuff, where it wouldn't hurt them to put me first, but it did hurt me intensely to put me second. We were married, and had been together over a decade. When I finally asserted myself, and put my foot down, because I was tired of suffering from his lack of care and demonstration of care for me, he began to physically abuse me out of frustration. The day he choked me, I packed my bags, and went to a hotel, and told him I wanted a divorce. It's been 2 years now, and I'm a lot poorer, and taking care of our son without a partner or family nearby is very difficult, but I'm much happier in other ways. My new partner is a much more compassionate person. Well, which one? There are so many. However, to generalize, it's one of the following 3. 1. We grew apart. As cliche as it sounds, it's true, especially LTR 2. We realized we weren't compatible enough, and this includes they were not who I thought they were, and we made a mistake in judgment and similar, and it's somewhat related to #1 above 3. It was a short-term thing ons, FB, FWB, fling, affair, wrong time, but we did it for a while anyway, because we knew it would be fun, just for mutual fun, etc. Because I could predict the entirety of the rest of my life, and I didn't like it. I would have taken over the family bakery, and spent every day waking up at 3 AM, to make donuts. 9 AM would be the start time for sausages. Leave the bakery at 4 PM. Deposit the daily sales before the bank closes. Drive home and eat the unsold sausages for dinner. Watch TV for 1.5 hours before falling asleep in a chair. Wake up at 3 AM. Repeat. Forever. There was no joy in her father's eyes. Joy left years ago. She was probably the most weak-minded woman I've ever dated. Like, she was so quiet and complacent that I probably could have smacked her in the fact and she'd say sorry for saying whatever she did to get slapped. It was frustrating, because when I wanted to talk, like really talk about soul-searing life stuff, she'd never open up, and would merely just want me to keep talking, so she could just listen. I'd try to get her to open up, but she never had anything to say, and whenever we went out she'd latch onto me like a scared child. He punched me in the face after a petty argument. No one should stand for physical abuse. No one should stand for abuse. No one should lie down for it either. But I thought you were supposed to stop, drop and roll. You're supposed to stop, drop, shut them down, and then proceed to open up the shop. Truth. I did the first time, because I was 18 and in love. But this bloke was the second, and I was 28. No ma'am. Big source of my crippling anxiety. Or honey, I'm sorry. If they date you, they should do it cause they need to accept all of you. I'm sorry you have anxiety, and if anything, they should have tried to help you. As much as I'd like to say they should help you, not one person can be as helpful as yourself. You can't rely on someone to help you overcome it, but you can rely on them to be there for you when needed, and I hope vice versa. She got sick of being taken for granted and dealing with the effects of my insecurities. Hi, are you my ex? You still owe me $70. I might have laughed a little too hard about this one DDD. Hi sweetie, sorry, I washed your $70 in the laundromat. I haven't seen it since. Hi, are you me? Hugs you while crying. Sociopath narcissist. Emotionally abusive. Not something they teach you about. It's very subtle how it happens. Traumatizing. Yep, mine definitely showed those tendencies. And I didn't see it coming at all at the time. In retrospect, it was all there. I just did not see it. Sorry you had to go through this. Hope you're healing well. I'm sure trying. Neither of us were willing to move and leave our respective careers for one another. Jokes on her. I'm a surgeon making a crapload of money in a beautiful city, while she's a government lawyer making pennies in a rural area. Wait, I got that switched. She's a surgeon. Another ex is an ex, because we were too alike. And by that I mean, we're both into women. Most recent guy I dated, because he wasn't ready and now has a girlfriend. Guy before, because he wasn't ready and still probably isn't. Last actual in a relationship ex, because he was cheating on me. He was emotionally abusive, and he said I want to put a baby in you knowing full well I didn't want children. The last part was the final straw. Was paranoid about me hooking up with a black guy, and thus kept talking about the Asian wife he was going to have in the future who was going to cook and clean for him. I told him good luck with that, and that I was going to find myself a black boyfriend, like he was so terrified of. Racial obsession is truly one of the biggest red flags. Good choice. She stabbed me, and then got mad when I needed a couple days alone. She had dissociative personality disorder, so I didn't exactly blame her, but my reflexive response to seeing her was rage. She got mad that I was punishing her for something one of her other personalities did, and wasn't listening to me when I tried to explain. He constantly belittled me because he was jealous of my success. He had no ambition or job. He thought having a homosexual affair outside of our heterosexual marriage shouldn't count, because at least he came home at the end of the night. It was all my fault, because I visited my family once, and he was lonely. Because he was a self-centered, emotionally abusive, alcoholic, manipulative anchor of a human being. He destroyed the house I paid for, told me no one else would ever love me, and made everything my fault. Also he physically abused my dog. I think he's my ex too. Weird. Different priorities in life. I wanted to settle down. He wasn't quite so ready. All worked out well in the end, though. We are still friends. Amicable breakup like adults. I had a short rebound relationship and just got engaged to the woman of my dreams. Life is good. A lot of issues, as we were very young and had been living together since 18, 20, but together since we were 16. We naturally drifted apart as in love as we were. Also had a habit of banging our close friend while I was working to make the rent, but the key reason is we were young. He was a she. Short version, we had been friends for ages, got it on, went sour quick. I moved on, married, was content, and he got in touch to tell me about their transition. Now we are great friends and a lot of niggling issues have been put to rest. She's awesome and I love her. It was a Karen S, but also an unfortunate not really S. I'm very confused if this is sarcastic or not. I make a joke at the whole Karen thing Reddit has, but unfortunately it did end as a Karen would end it, so imagine laughter with subtle sobbing mixed in. Because we were two different people in two different places in our life. Also BC, she had a nasty habit of banging my friends, but that's besides the point. You've got my kind of dark humor. I like you. Thanks man. I'm told it's my most attractive quality. She put herself on a pedestal and wanted me to put her on it too. I got tired of dating a spoiled 35-year-old acting like a 12-year-old when she didn't get her way. That relationship only lasted 6 months. I was in other relationships, but that was the worst. Couldn't agree about whether when to potentially have a child. He's a great guy. His reasoning even made sense, but I knew I'd resent it if I waited for his maybe ifs, and I never got the chance to start a family. Do you still have the chance to start a family? She didn't want to commit, but she didn't want to be alone. She liked to pretend that she didn't need my company and that life was a cabaret, but she did, and it really wasn't for her. Something in her was afraid of getting too close. I just got tired of it. Because she still misses me, but her aim is getting better. Get it, cause marriage is terrible. Grunkle Stan is by far my favorite character on Gravity Falls. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one who loves Stan quotes. She cheated on me. Repeatedly. She was a narcissist with BLPD. She moved on to a new guy. She tried to get me to have dinner at her place a few weeks after they started dating. She has cheated on her new BF with people I know. She was insanely emotionally abusive to the point where I couldn't hang out with her without her putting me down about something. Also, she was a liar and a cheater. Put up with it for 6 years and won't ever waste time on someone like that again. Been married 18 years, so my ex was an ex from about 23 years ago. Reason he's my ex. Got my friend preggers. When I confronted him, he suggested we stay together and have threesomes. Yeah. Nope. He wanted to date someone exactly like him, and I couldn't be that person. He made me feel guilty for not enjoying everything he enjoyed. If he hadn't ended things, I was going to. We just weren't compatible. So many tales of cheating and abuse equals all it was for me was after 2 years together I just wasn't feeling it anymore and wasn't going to pretend otherwise. She was a great person and we had good times together. Because he embezzled $400,000 from his family, which he used to gamble and take vacations and contribute to buying our house, and cheated on me and was abusive and an alcoholic and